be agreed to. The member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. One of the great privileges of being able to represent the good people of Goldstein in this place is, of course, that it is a forward-looking, modern Liberal community concerned not just about the issues of today, but also of the future. And when I go around the Goldstein electorate, Deputy Speaker, and speak directly to residents, one of the most critical issues that comes onto their mind and their agenda is aged care, and making sure that whether it's themselves, whether it's their loved ones, that at a vulnerable stage of life, that people get the support, the care and the assistance they need to make sure that they can live out their lives with dignity in the way they carried themselves at earlier stages of life. And that's why this Aged Care Royal Commission is so important, because while there are many good aged care centres out there, and there are, while there are many good aged care workers, nurses, support staff and those who care and support those people at that vulnerable stage of life every day and make sacrifices to do what is right, you cannot pretend that there have not been issues that have arisen from examples identified by this government, identified by state governments and identified, of course, by the media, that justifies this Royal Commission to make sure that we are meeting the expectation that Australians have of us to support those at the latter stages of their life. And of course, what we know is that these challenges are going to become more considerable, more complex over time. An ageing population is a testament to the wonder of modern medicine, economic progress and a society that values people for their full contribution and capacity in life. We have an obligation to support our elderly in the vulnerable stages of life and make sure they get that care. And Goldstein is, of course, a perfect example of doing so. In Beaumaris, Blackrock and Brighton, more than 35% of the population is aged over the age of 55. The Royal Commission is about correcting any trust deficit between aged care operators and the community so that people can age with confidence. And there are over 900 residential care providers across the country who will benefit from a reshaping and a rebuilding of that trust. The nurses, the care providers, the cleaners, the cooks and the volunteers help give our elderly healthier and happier lives. Their passion and commitment should be reflected in the sector's policies and governance. And that's why this government has made it such a priority. We haven't twiddled our thumbs waiting for the Commission's findings. The 2017 legislative review of aged care was a springboard for the changes announced in the 2018 budget that provide an extra $1.6 billion for home care. Aged care funding is increasing by an average of 6.4% each year over the next 4 years. We also have legislated for new aged care quality standards, the first upgrade of standards in 20 years, and have introduced the bill to create the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission, supported by $106 million to support better facilities, care and standards in aged care. And since 2014, the government has allocated over 32,000 residential care places, and over 130,000 home care packages have also been released and continue to be released at over 3,000 a week. But of course, Deputy Speaker, what people want, what Australians want, is action. They don't just want to cover the issues affecting the elderly in aged care, they also want to make sure there's action affecting young Australians who need the support of aged care as well. And I've already had constituents making sure that this issue is properly addressed, and we can say with confidence they are. But despite what may be revealed by the Royal Commission, one of the most critical things is that we do not beat up on the sector and diminish the standing of it when there are so many good people doing so much good work every day. We need to back them and celebrate their achievements as much as we need to shine a very bright light into dark places. And I was very privileged recently to be part of launching Fairway Aged Care, Bayside Aged Care's new facilities in Sandringham only a week or so ago. And there, it was a topic of great concern to the board and to the management, including people like the President Michael Scully and the CEO and Don Sandy May. But most critically, I was left with the advice from the Mayor, but also Fairway's board member, Laurie Evans, who said, "Tim, take it back to Canberra that there are so many of us in aged care in the community space doing so much good work. You heard, Laurie.
The